Back here for game 5, and I'm on 6 cards again. Once again, just need help to find something early, but on 6 I'm going to keep.
My hand is like fairly weak, but I can kind of curve out with the cards that I have, considering my mana. So I think this is a fine keep. I'm gonna need like 1 or 2 powerful cards, I think.
Okay, scry, and we can bottom that. And planes go.
It's not bad actually. Your turn.
So good. Ooh, right on time.
Okay. I think we'll just stick to the plan. Acquire some more maxes. Just
19.
Second point of toughness for no reason. Just great. Your turn.
I will play a Bygone Bishop and bash for 2.
All right.
You're at 18.
Yep.
You can go. Just put this back in my hand.
I do not have a Reflector Mage.
I would be so happy.
It's another good draw. All right, we're going to play Nightwood Orchid, get a Prairie Stream, play a Forest, and a Pacifist. Your turn.
I will Reflector Mage your Pacifist and get a max. And bash for 3.
All right.
You go to 15?
Yep.
You can go.
Interesting. So it is important to try to initiate a race in this matchup, certainly, but don't think playing this in that manner is really going to get us too far, and I can bounce the Bygone Bishop to buy time anyways, so I'm going to Reflector Mage, your Bygone Bishop, play Evolving Wilds and pass.
Okay.
And this will get a Forest.
Well, I'm just going to bash for 1.
Yep.
14. 14. You can go.
All right, so Ross is definitely representing a lot of things here.
This is every card in my deck.
Not quite, but a lot.
Not absent. Drew the tilting ETB tap land. You got 4 after you draw.
Okay. I don't think initiating is good for us, so I'm just gonna attack for 2.
This is another Dramoka's command. So I know you have Lambholt Pacifist. If you command, I have reply, but a second command would be quite good. Second command is going to be very good regardless of what we do, so I'll walk.
All right, go.
Got him. I'll sack this clue.
I'll respond.
Sure.
Cast Collected Company.
Hallowed Moonlight.
Well, that's lucky. Go.
So draw off Moonlight, draw off
Or I
clue.
guess, yeah, I do actually have to do this.
Yeah. That was nice.
Okay.
Draw. So, you have now 3 cards.
Yep.
One of which is Lambholt Pacifist. You're 14. Now I just want to try to apply a lot of pressure. Think I'm just going to play Selfless Spirit.
Sure.
And bash for 2.
All right.
12.
Sure. I thought I had myself at 13, but I'm sure I missed a point.
Yeah, I think from this
Probably the turn that you played Bygone Bishop.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously Ross choosing to play Selfless Spirit instead of Bygone Bishop kind of represents Spell Queller.
Walls are caving in on us.
Yep. Play a Lambhole Pacifist.
Sure.
And I'll attack.
I will walk.
Sure. Go. Any turn where I sink Ross's mana, I think, is a victory, and I can crack a clue, so.
This has been a game where I've actually wanted to draw some more lands. Okay, I will play a Bygone Bishop.
Sure.
I will attack for 4.
Mid-8.
I will pass the turn.
Alright, second clue.
Yep. Still feel like I'm in fine shape. Got a good amount of pressure, but Michael could have a very nice turn.
Let's see. Play Reflector Mage.
Yep.
Bygone Bishop.
I'll Essence Flex it.
Okay, that's probably game. Pretty good showcasing of just, I can't block any of his creatures, so.
Yeah.
Go. Needed something like a Thali's Lieutenant to break through.
You're at 8.
Yep.
So I need a land. This is 4, 8, 2, 4, so that's 16.
If I draw a Heron's Grace champion, then I probably win the game on the spot if he doesn't have Spell Queller, but.
I guess I could try to kill him by flipping Avacyn with Selfless Spirit, but So regardless of what I do, all of these things are going to be lethal next turn. Michael's only on 5 mana. I think the options are some number of these. And I think I'd rather just play the Avacyn. Yeah, I'll bash for 6. You go to 2.
Yep.
And I'll just play the Avacyn main phase.
Sure.
I don't really need the Indestructible. I'd rather just keep the Pacifist down. Pass.
That's interesting. Isn't this just worse than... Like, if you're going to do this, shouldn't you just sack the Selfless Spirit? Like, otherwise you should just hold this. Like, these flipping doesn't really change much, right? Because the only way I can break through is Thali's Lieutenant anyways, and it's not going to pump these once they're flipped. Or if, like, you're concerned about the race, then you should just do this and say go.
I certainly want to get you to 2, because that makes all 3 of these lethal, because I have a Spirit. But I'm just trying to minimize, like, what you have on the board and present a bunch of lethal flyers, and I don't really think you can do anything about this.
I mean, if I just draw a Heron's Grace champion, then the game's over.
No, that's true. But, okay. Actually, if that's the card that I lose to, I should probably just bash for 6 and pass. But that is, like, that's the riskiest play.
Well, in what scenario is playing Avacyn main phase better? Or post-combat, whatever.
Yeah, it's probably not. But Heron's Grace Champion is just the one card that I'm actually worried about.
Then in that case, then you should go for the flip.
No, because I have Spell Queller. So if you have, and this isn't a lethal attack.
Oh, you have a Spell Queller?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. There's no reason for you to do anything then.
You could have some, like, strange combination of cards, I think, once I just pass and But if I'm less worried about some weird combination that gets through a spell queller than I am just about Heron's Grace Champion. A card that I should probably have on my radar more, but new cards. Like you have 16 points here.
All right.
I guess I really shouldn't be that afraid. You'd have to have 3 Drumliquid commands, and Wanderer stops that, and Queller stops 1. Yeah, this is just the best play. It just felt so weird to not just give you so much power, but
I mean, you're at 20.
I'm at 19.
Ooh, 19.
We got in with Thraben Inspector on turn 2.
Nice. Okay, combat.
Yeah. I will block Knight of the White Orchid.
All right.
I go to 7.
Go.
So I can play like Avacyn on instep. Worst case scenario, Michael has collected company into 2 Reflector Mages, and he's still dead. So I might as well just play it. I guess you have Ojutai's Command, but they don't. The human deck doesn't usually play Ojutai's Command, and that still doesn't do it. You just go to 6 and counter that, and I have lethal.
Let's see. So there's no scenario where I can... Yeah, any scenario where I flip Avacyn, 3 damage is lethal. And yeah, I'm just dead to the Flyers, so that's good.
Yeah.
All right, back here for the conclusion of Bant Humans versus Blue-White Spirits. I think that was a fairly good representation of how the matchup plays out. Whenever Ross was able to get some pressure on the battlefield, make it pretty difficult for me to cast my spells between Mausoleum Wanderer, maybe holding up mana for Spellcaller or Ojutai's Command, make me have to make some hard decisions, maybe not use my mana as efficiently. He could leverage that aggression. It's really hard to block the Flyers with his Bant Humans deck. So, those games went pretty smoothly for him. And then the games where I was able to just get under him, get a presence on the battlefield, maybe with a Lambholt Pacifist or something along those lines, and then kind of pace the game because I wasn't under a ton of pressure, and then finally break through with a Collected Company or Thalia's Lieutenant. Those are how the games are going to play out. It's basically just a pure race.
Yeah, definitely very important for the Spirits deck to get out ahead on the early turns. Another reason I like Mausoleum Wanderer. And as I was playing the games, I mentioned to you that I would have really liked, is it Nebelgast Herald?
I have no idea what it's called. 2/2, 2/1 flyer flash. Whenever you cast this, or whenever this enters the battlefield, or another spirit, tap a creature.
Yeah, tap a creature, I believe an opponent controls. But just that would have allowed me to sort of gain some traction when I'm a little behind or at parity against your bigger creatures. Because you mentioned how you have difficulty blocking, obviously, because most of my things fly, and almost none of your things do, except for Avacyn.
I have an Avacyn.
Yeah. So, but it's also just similarly difficult for me to block, with the exception of Reflector Mage. Yes. My creatures just don't block very well. And they essentially don't block once a Thalia's Lieutenant trigger resolves. So the race is definitely pretty pure in that respect, and I think the Herald definitely gives you a way to effectively block.
Yeah, that might be a good breaker on the Spirit side. Heron's Grace Champion was very good for me the game that I drew it, and I think it was probably the only way I could win Game 5.
Yeah, once we figured that out.
So maybe I would look towards even sideboarding a 3rd copy, because it's going to be good in the Boss Humans matchup too.
Yeah.
Anything that's about racing, getting on the battlefield, just gaining anywhere from 3 to 8 points of life, maybe even more, is extremely substantial in those kinds of matchups.
Yeah, lifelink is certainly very important in any creature-based matchup, and that is a huge swing, incredibly powerful effect against any opposing creature deck. It could probably even be good in mirrors.
Yep.
I also like that it is a card that people are going to have answers to Collected Company. It's a card that is in their head all the time, and when you pass with 4 mana up, that's what they think of, and it's sort of a natural way to disguise the card. It certainly took me a couple times to figure out that just have it register in my head and be even more cognizant of it. And so for the early weeks of the format, that's definitely a card that I can see people just forgetting about and walking right into, and we'll eventually learn, because that card can certainly just blow you away.
Oh yeah, it can certainly just swing games around completely. It has a sizable body by itself. It enables Lambhole Pacifist to attack. It's really good on defense for just setting up, absurd blocks. A lot of the creatures in this deck just randomly have an extra point of toughness for no reason. So like when Thraben Inspector can become a 2/3 and Reflector Mage can become a 3/4, then like suddenly you have some really good like double and triple blocks, and you gain like 8 to 10 life, and I mean that can just decide the game on the spot.
Yeah, that is a boatload of life.
So I think it's a really powerful tool in this deck. 2 staples of the format here. Get used to them. This is a matchup you're going to see a lot. So I think it's important to kind of understand what's going on. But next week is SG Tour Stop in Baltimore.
Yep.
Some more new standard, is
this weekend.
Yes. Excuse me.
Well,
yeah. Tomorrow. Yeah. But
so,
yep. Andy Boswell and CVM are going to be. I guess he goes by Andrew. I don't know why I called him Andy, but whatever.
He goes by the Boz.
Sure. Well, Ross, with his unending respect for the Boz's good-looking charms, always elevates him to that status.
You have to have respect for people that put in the effort in that regard. That's why I have tons of respect for Todd Stevens as well. Just always looks dapper.
Well, Todd Stevens is just a great guy. There's just no reason.
Well, so is the Boz.
Sure. I don't know him as well as Todd, to be fair, but
trust me, he's great.
I believe you. I've hung out with him a little bit. He seems like a really good, genuine dude, but that's beside the point completely. But anyways, some more Eldritch Moon Standard this weekend. A lot of fun. Come out, either watch us on the SG Live stream or come out and play yourself.
I'll be there. You'll be in Sydney, Australia.
Yes.
So jealous.
Yep. But yeah.
So jealous.
Are you? You could have come.
Yeah, but I would have had to spend thousands of dollars and forego an invite for next season. It just made too much sense.
Then you can't be jealous.
Sure, I can. You didn't have to pay for your flight. And you get paid to go show up.
Yeah, it's not bad.
You get $5,000 to go to Sydney, Australia.
All right, well.
There's a difference there.
Good luck to me at the Pro Tour.
Yeah.
Have fun in Baltimore. Join us for that, and have a good one, everyone.
Yep.